Good morning, grade 8. So today we'll be continuing on. We'll talk about 1.5, which is equations and mental math. So most of the equations are very simple. We're going to be dealing with very simple equations, but the most important thing is you need to be able to show me the answer to the solution correctly. Don't just write down the answer. So most of today, the examples I'll be going through will be how you do your homework, how you show your work, and how to present your answers nicely. So the first example I'm going to go to is example one, and that will be checking for possible solutions, checking possible solutions. So what I don't want you to do is if you see a question, you need to check a solution, whether it is a solution or not. Don't just say yes or no. That's not what I want you to do. Instead, let's say we have a question over here that is n plus 5 is equal to 14, and it wants you to check whether check whether n equals 7 is a solution. And so what you need to do is you need to do this correctly. So first you're going to substitute in n equals 7 into the equation. And so I have here 7 plus 5. Now, do I know that this is actually equal to 14? I do not know. So the most important part in this one is we use this equal sign with a symbol over there, and then we check whether that is equal to 14. And what this symbol means, you might want to put a note over here. This symbol means, is this equal to? That's what it actually means. Is this equal to? And so I don't know yet. And so what I need to do now is I find out 7 plus 5, that is 12. And so 12 is not equal to 14. So I need to write it down clearly that 12 is not 14. And so once I've confirmed that, then that means that n equals 7 is not a solution. Then I write down n equals 7 is not a solution. So now we want to check for n equals to 9. Okay, so this time we're checking for n equals to 9. So what are we going to do? We're going to first substitute in 9 goes in here, 9 plus 5, and I don't yet know whether that is equal to 14. So again, I'm going to put that interesting equal with a question mark on top, whether that is equal to 14 or not. Is this equal to? And then 9 plus 5, I'm going to calculate that, that's 14. And so I have confirmed that 14 is equal to 14. That makes that this equation is now correct. It is true. And so I confirmed that n equals 9 is a solution. So in your homework, you need to make sure that you are doing showing your work correctly. Don't just write down yes, don't just write down no, don't just write down correct, not correct, or so on. I don't want to see just the answer. I want to see you showing your work correctly. Now, I have another example, B. This time we have 3x minus 2 is equal to 13, and I want you to check whether x equals 6 or x equals 5. Okay, we want to check whether x equals to 6 or x equal to 5. So first, we're going to do 6. We're going to do 3 bracket 6 minus 2. I don't know whether it is 13 or not. So I'm going to put a question mark on top of that. And so 3 times 6, that's 18. 18 minus 2, is that equal to 13? 18 minus 2 is 16, and so 16 is not equal to 13. So now I'm going to put down the answer or the response to this question. X equals 6 is not a solution. And then I'm going to check for the next one. 3 bracket 5 minus 2, is that equal to 13? And so 15 minus 2, I still don't know yet whether that is equal to 13. And so now 15 minus 2 is 13. And so 13 is equal to 13. That is correct. And so I can now say that x equals to 5 is a solution. So that is to the first example. Moving on to the second example, example 2. We have using mental math to solve simple equations. Okay, so we want to use mental math to solve simple equations. So what we want to do in this, in your homework is, first of all, let's say that you had the question 9 plus x equals 12. If you see this in your textbook, in the question, I do not want you to write down the answer. So let's say that you were doing your homework over here, you did A, and then I don't want to see 3. That's not what I want you to see. This is not called showing your work. Now, I know it does say use mental math, but even if we use mental math, we need to show the question and we show the answer. And so the correct way to do this is to first you copy down the question. And so you put down A. I'm literally just copying down the question. Of course, you don't need to copy it twice. I'm showing to you twice because one is I'm looking at the question on my book, and then the second one is you're copying it down into your homework, and then you write down x is equal to 3. That's it. 2 lines. That's all I'm asking. 1, you copy down the question. 2, you write down the solution. X is equal to 3. Not just 3. You need to write down x equals 3. So let's move on. Let's do some more. N minus 5 equal to 10. So I want you to copy down in your notes, and then I want you to write down the answer. Did you write down n equals 15? Hopefully you did. And so C, continuing, 4t equals 20. And so how do I do this? I'm going to do this in my head. 4 times what is equal to 20? That's 5. So t is equal to 5. Same as D. For this question, we have m divided by 3 is equal to 12. I'm asking myself, what divided by 3 is equal to 12? 36. And so I'm just going to write down m equals 36. That's all. So very simple. This part, using mental math to solve simple equations, shouldn't be difficult. You have to copy down the question, and then you write down the solution to the variable. Now, there are 2 other types of questions that I do want to talk about. I'm just going to quickly bring that up. So there we go. I just wrote the question. I'm saving some time. Tell whether the 2 equations have the same solution or not. So what I don't want to see is you just go, no. That's not good enough. I don't want this as a simple yes-no question. This is not a yes-no question. You have to show your work. And so what you have to do is first you solve the equation. So you want to go x plus 4 equals to 5. So x is equal to 1. I did it in my head. I just write down the answer over here. Then next to it, you can go x plus 2 equals to 3 right next to it. And then what is the answer to this? X is equal to 1 again. So you confirm that the 2 equations does have the same solution. Then you can finally say, yes, they have same solution. And now I have a second, do I have a second example where they do not have the same solution? I do not. But then in your textbook, in your exercises, you may see some questions with different solutions. So you will have to show your working out. The next type of question that I want to talk about is tell whether the equation has no solution, one solution, or many solutions. So this may be something you haven't seen before, maybe. The main important thing is what is the meaning of no solution? No solution means that no value of x will make the equation true. That's what it means. No value x makes the equation true. So it just means there isn't, it doesn't exist. On the other hand, many solution means that there are more than one value of x. Okay, so there's more than one x values. That makes the equation true. What do I mean by each of these? Let's look at our examples over here. A, I have 1 times x equals to x. I can substitute in any number for that. If x equals to 1, that means 1 is equal to 1. Is that true? Yes, that's a solution. If I substitute in 2, 1 times 2 is equal to 2. Is that true? Yes, 2 is equal to 2. Another solution. I can substitute in 5. 5 is equal to 5. That's another solution. That means that there are many solutions. So in this case, you write down many solutions. Please copy down the question, copy the equation, then you write your answer. B, 0 times x is equal to 5. Is there any x that satisfies this? If I substitute in 1, 0 is equal to 0 times 1 is 0. 0 is equal to 5. Is that it? No, that's not true. If I substitute in 2, no. If I substitute in 5, 0 times 5 is 0. Is 0 equal to 5? No. And it doesn't matter what values you substitute in, it cannot be true no matter what. And so in this case, you write down there are no solutions. Now the last example, I know we are going into 11 minutes. I'll try to be as quick as possible. It's going to be distance, speed, and time relationship. So distance, we all know that there is a formula. Distance is equal to speed times time traveled. Speed is using R. R stands for rate. And then distance is D, time is T. So we're going to use this formula. If you don't know why this formula happens, think about it. The distance that you travel is equal to the speed. So if I'm walking at 10 kilometers per hour and I travel for 1 hour, what is the distance that I cover? That's 10 times 1, which is 10 kilometers. If I travel for 2 hours, when I'm walking at 10 kilometers per hour, 2 hours, that's going to be 10 times 2, which is 20. So distance is equal to speed times time. So let's look at an example, what we actually have to do. So we have a question over here. A pigeon flies at a speed of 50 miles per hour. How long will it take for the pigeon to fly 300 miles? What information are we given? We are given 50 miles per hour. That is a speed. That is the speed over here. What else are we also given? We are given that he needs to fly 300 miles. 300 miles is the distance. And so we have distance, we have speed. What do we need to find? We want to find the time. How long would it take for the pigeon to fly? So we need to write down the equation. We just substitute in these numbers. 300 is equal to 50 times T for time, the time traveled. And so we need to find it. We can use our mental math to solve this, but don't just write down the answer 6. That's not what I want. I want you to write down correctly. So 300 is equal to 50 times 6. I know that. So I need to write down T is equal to 6. I've solved it. I found a solution. And then you answer the question. The pigeon takes, how long would it take a pigeon to fly 300 miles? It takes 6 hours. Okay, that's the least I'm looking for. It takes 6 hours. You can complete the sentence in full. It takes 6 hours for the pigeon to fly 300 miles. That's okay as well. So I'm going to give you the homework. There you go. So your homework is to complete exercise 1.5, the odd questions from 3 to 41, and then you need to do question 43, 44, and 48. So please complete your homework and then take a picture of your homework and then upload it to OneNote. I will see you guys next lesson.